Okay, so it's part 4, which is a spiritual aspect in the holistic construct. And this is number 4 of part 4. I decided to come inside. It wasn't, it just kept bouncing me off. So let's see if it'll be better indoors. So I was speaking about how do we create spiritual, how do we attract, not create, how do we attract spiritual entities that attach to our auric field? There's a number of examples, but it comes to one very simplistic example or reason, and that is when we are unconscious, emotionally unconscious, then we open up the field to tag-ons. So it can be anything from thought forms, emotional energies. It can be or can be a full-on entity that is that hasn't left the planet, that is in the auric field of Earth and doesn't know what to do. So tags, or sometimes they do know what to do and they do it purposefully, but they're entities that tag along on the human experience. And what happens with that is it's draining the energy, it drains the vitality. And as it drains the vitality, I mean, it's literally living off of our energy field, or even the thought processes. They're actually living off of the energy field that we're producing as a human. So there's ways, like different ways of being unconscious, of course, that it happens. There's being under anesthetic for surgeries is a classic example. Often people after surgeries find themselves with entity involvement. As we move our energy, we have to be spiritually stealthy, and we get more stealthy as we become more aware. So don't look at it as a fearful thing. It's just something that happens. Another thing is if someone is using drugs or alcohol to the point of being very unaware, then that's a prime time. And there's certain drugs too that seem to have more. There's more, makes you more susceptible or more vulnerable. Like cocaine, for instance, is one of those drugs. We've seen over decades how people with the cocaine use have attracted these entities, and those people can almost seem unrecognizable to friends and family members. It changes their personality, and so let's look at that in terms of the physical. So the entity involvement, the spiritual comes first, as I said earlier, and then it does filter down. I mean, it's just a good example of how things filter down into this physical realm, and in the human body, it can filter down into parasitical infections. So when we're looking at releasing entities, a parasite cleanse is where to start. We begin just like we do the physical foundation for vitality. We do the parasite cleanse to help the physical body release those things, and it just puts the entities on notice. or the entity on notice, that it's time for it to move along. Move. There's many ways to do that. I'm not going to give you an exorcism formulation here, but I do address that in the Gnostic Way courses. It's something that's it's something that is very, very relevant.